When looking for the one, we all want something different. Some want reliability, others look for excitement. Some like stylish, others go for sporty, compact, or cargo space. You know we're talking about your perfect BMW certified vehicle, right? With 100% genuine BMW parts, the BMW certified warranty, and a nationwide dealer network, your ultimate match might just be the ultimate certified machine. Take advantage of exceptional offers on all 2019 through 2022 models.
Step into the world of power, loyalty, and luck.
I'm gonna make him an offer he can't refuse.
With family, cannolis, and spins mean everything.
Now, you wanna get mixed up in the family business.
Introducing The Godfather at ChumbaCasino.com. Test your luck in the shadowy world of The Godfather slot.
Someday, I will call upon you to do a service for me.
Play The Godfather now at ChumbaCasino.com.
Welcome to the family.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
Christopher Media. Let's make some noise. From Asthmacore Studios near Detroit, Michigan.
Oh, man.
It's the Weedsman Podcast.
I have no idea what's going on.
And now,
you have smoked yourself retarded.
Here are the Weedsmen.
You want to get high?
Welcome to the Weedsman Podcast. I'm Chris.
I'm Aaron. Welcome back. Happy holidays. This is now the official.
We can say Thanksgiving, right? There's nothing wrong with saying Thanksgiving.
There's, but no, I'm just saying we are like now officially into. There's no fucking around.
Oh yeah,
it's Thanksgiving. As of this comes out, this is the Black Friday episode, right?
Yeah, and notice to people like me, you can no longer complain about Christmas music. It is now, to me, the line of demarcation. When I'm not saying
past this point.
I'm not saying I'm going to listen, but to me, the line of demarcation, at least when I was a kid, was after Thanksgiving, game on with the Christmas music.
That used to be when Christmas started.
Yeah.
Right? And it was, and that was like an indulgent thing. Like, we're going to do a whole month of Christmas of like getting ready and the Christmas music and the decorations and all that. Now it's just, if you don't get your shit up by Thanksgiving, then you're just not going to participate.
Then, yeah, you're slacking. No, yeah, I mean, like at my job, they've been playing Christmas music since the day after Halloween. To be fair, the person who runs the office, her two favorite holidays are Halloween and Christmas. So she is just like, it's like her two Super Bowls right in a row.
I have a hard time identifying with people who have favorite holidays. Period.
Dude, it's chicks. It's chicks.
I feel you. Well, look,
women do a lot of shit. We just look at them and go, all right.
We all celebrate things, weird things that don't really matter in our own way, you know. So I get it, and there's nothing wrong. Like, it's very communal. I'm almost envious. Like, I just cannot be bothered to decorate for a season, right? I'm not saying I don't decorate, that I don't think about like the furniture that I buy, that I don't put up art or anything like that. It's just like, that's it. I'm not thinking about what do I do in the fall, right?
I got like 2 Christmas decorations, and I put them in the window, and I plug them in the wall, and that's it.
Yeah.
I don't tape them. I literally, I just set them in.
What are they?
One's like a snowman, and one's like a Santa, or one's like a tree, or one's like a Santa. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't
my
even
mom
have
gave
that.
them to me or some shit. But yeah, I'd like gravity holds them in the window. I do that little amount of work. I just set them there. The most amount of effort is I plug it in.
Yeah.
This
will be my last chance. Like, if I don't do it by 50, then I'm just never going to, right? I'm never going to be that person that has...
Well, next year, someone else is going to be...
a Target bin full of,
Next year, I'm vetoed.
Seasonal decorations.
Someone else will be taken, but someone else will be spearheading it. I'll be glad. Like, I'll come home one day, or
you'll be married. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's her job, right?
Yeah, well, no, no, trust me, that's
I know.
That's on deck for this weekend. No, but she wants to do it. She likes all that crap.
I get it. Yeah.
Good, go.
Yeah, my ex-wife she was really, especially Halloween. I think, I live in a very liberal neighborhood, maybe the most liberal neighborhood in the southeast Michigan. But, and almost everybody decorated for Halloween. Most people still have their Halloween decorations up.
Well, I mean, pumpkins, you could kind of slide. If you're
there's-
pumpkin-based, you could slide into Thanksgiving.
There's a lot of it that is just fall-based, sure, but there's still a lot of ghost witches and hunched cats.
The ghosts were.
There's stuff that just doesn't
Still got Dracula
apply
out there.
to the rest of it.
You're slacking.
But I have no beef with that per se, but I would have thought, as much as they were into Halloween, that they would have immediately like flipped over to Christmas with the same gusto, the same vigor, and I haven't seen it. And I'm thinking if it doesn't happen, like maybe a couple houses have lights up. That's it. Versus,
well, your neighborhood's in mourning.
I think yeah.
I saw the Halloween decorations.
I think you might be right.
No, I noticed today there's a lot of Harris Wall signs still hanging on in the yards.
I think
they're like, I'm leaving it up.
And this is what liberals have tended to do, conservatives will pose some ridiculous argument that there's a liberal war on Christmas, right? And the liberals are like, that's ridiculous. Of course there isn't. And they just keep hammering this, year after year. We keep thinking, oh, is the war on Christmas over? Nope. No, it's still going. There's still a few chuckleheads out there that are getting on their soapbox. And I think that the liberals get so sick of it, they're just like, fine, we're not going to even celebrate Christmas anymore. Not with the same vigor that we do other holidays. And I think that holidays I think Halloween is the liberal holiday, right? Because that's what the conservatives are always complaining about, what types, okay, so we didn't even see it as much this time around. Everybody complains about,
we are
Halloween
teaching children
costumes.
about communism.
And the liberals took over the complaints for a while. There was a stretch of a few years where it was like, you can't be Pocahontas, you can't be, mermaids because they might be real. I don't know.
Hold on.
You can't be whatever. Getting canceled for certain things. But the conservatives were on that long before, with just complaining about how everything has to be sexy and how the adults are taking over Halloween. Am I crazy, or are we divvying up the holidays?
I don't know. I mean, I feel that this last election, you're going to be conservative for being born with a dick. They were steering it that way.
And am I totally crazy on it? Because this, I didn't put much into the speculations on, are we approaching another civil war? But if it actually does cut this culturally deep in this country, maybe so. And if you believe that, all democracies before it, and longer than any democracy before it, for that matter, this experiment's been going, but it probably will end someday. How else would it end other than some sort of? I mean, you think the country is just going to dissolve?
No, it'll be gradual.
What happened to?
When looking for the one, we all want something different. Some want reliability, others look for excitement. Some like stylish, others go for sporty, compact, or cargo space. We're talking about your perfect BMW certified vehicle, right? With 100% genuine BMW parts, the BMW certified warranty, and a nationwide dealer network, your ultimate match might just be the ultimate certified machine.
Take advantage of exceptional offers on all 2019 through 2022 models.
Hey, it's Ryan Seacrest. Life comes at you fast, which is why it's important to find some time to relax. A little you time. Enter Chumba Casino. With no download required, you can jump on anytime, anywhere for the chance to redeem some serious prizes. So treat yourself with Chumba Casino and play over 100 online casino-style games, all for free. Go to ChumbaCasino.com to collect your free welcome bonus. Sponsored by Chumba Casino. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
What happened to Rome? It was chaos. You had many, many years of I saw the Gladiator movie, and they had the the rulers of Rome at that time were twin brothers that were just insane. And I'm sure, they were amped up and vilified for the movie, but I don't know my research enough to know how much of it is fact, but we know there are a lot of fucking crazy-ass rulers in the end times of Rome.
I say check with me in January after the consumer spending reports come out. Once they figure out what everybody spent on Christmas.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd like to see those. I'd like to see the politics on that if you could, right? Like, are liberals or conservatives spending more on Halloween or Christmas?
Well, it's real easy.
I don't know.
Again, in January, who had the most money spent at them? If everybody's
well, I mean, you could probably, I don't know. It's not something you can easily break down. It's not like, where does Kendrick Lamar sell more tickets versus Jelly Donut?
No, yeah, they can. They can pull.
They can. Yes, I'm saying they can look at that. Like, you can see, like, you can look at demographics just by, like, ticket sales and shit like that. Kids tend to like all the same shit. It's not like there's conservative or liberal toys, right?
No, I'm saying where it's bought,
where it's purchased. Yeah, I don't know.
Walmart versus Neiman Marcus. That's what I'm saying. Like, what retailer is going to have the bang up?
We have too many purple areas, right? Especially in areas where you'd be able to get those. Usually, pull those figures easily from larger cities. Cities are more purpley. I don't know. We had an extra moon for a while. How come I didn't even hear about this until it was leaving already? Would have been great if it would have stuck around. We could have just had an extra moon.
How'd we have an extra moon?
And then we wouldn't have to decide like who gets the moon when we have to divide America, because America owns the world and everything outside of it too. Apparently, America owns Mars. Shit, we're already staking claim on that.
So was it
in the big American divorce, who gets the moon? Who
was
gets
it a
Mars?
light thing? Did we pull in an extra object for a second?
I guess.
How did we have a second moon?
It came from somewhere else. They're calling it an asteroid, which I didn't know we had asteroids. My dad had them. I can barely sit down.
Hey, I'm in my mid-40s. I got them too. What are you talking about? I blame the job I had where I sat on my ass for 50 hours a week.
Oh, yeah, the Earth's mini-moon. It had a mini-moon. The moon had a mini-moon. Can you imagine? It's just floating around up there. It's like biting its pinky, like Dr. Evil. It's got a little moon going around it.
I was thinking more like the Moonanites. Like it was the one that just jumped around and went, yeah!
Oh, yeah. There's that show, oh, shit, what's the HBO show that about making of the superhero movie? Fuck. I can't remember what the fucking thing is called. I always want to call it something else. The guy who did Veep, guy who does the very farcical series and movies.
Dude, I unplugged from pop culture like a decade ago.
Armando Iannucci, that's the guy's name. But anyways, there's some big producer that's always visiting the set. And they got a guy who's there to do like the explosion. They're going to blow up a bridge. And the guy, like, people start noticing, they're like, because the producer's talking to the guy about, what we're going to do, what's the setup and all this. And they're like, you notice he looks like he's like a 3/4 scale version of the producer, right? They're both kind of tubby guys with a reddish beard. They're both wearing baseball caps. They've got, kind of the same jacket on. All this, and then like the producer realizes it, he starts getting into it, and then he's like wrestling with them and shit, and he's like, I want to go hang out with my mini-me. It's like having your own action figure. But the guy doesn't, they're in Poland, and the guy doesn't speak English well, and everyone's just kind of joking around with him and doesn't really understand what he's saying. And in the mistranslation, they basically blow up the wrong bridge, so they have their cameras pointed at one bridge that's supposed to blow up, something that they were going to demolish anyway, and they wired the wrong bridge. There's another bridge facing, the other way where the cameras weren't pointing, and they're all freaking out like, oh my God, we blew up the wrong bridge. And one of the PAs are like, it's not just the wrong bridge. And she's holding like this very colorful big bill of like Polish money. She's like, it's the bridge on their money. She's showing everyone. She's like, we blew up their money. Somebody's going to notice that this bridge is gone. I think she says this bridge was around. She's Googling it right away. Like, this bridge was around in the time of Charlemagne. So the mini moon, did it actually orbit our Earth, or was it orbiting the moon? It's 37 foot wide, or 11.2 meters, equal to, this is some editorializing that I don't think we need, but 6 stacked Arnold Schwarzeneggers. I guess it's going to be back, like the Terminator in question. Question is, will 2024 PTS, that's its name, enjoy another spell as a second moon around Earth? During the occupation of asteroid 2024 PTS around Earth, Space.com has been corresponding with one of the scientists who discovered its trajectory status as a mini-moon. It's usually part of Arjuna asteroid belt, a secondary asteroid belt composed of objects that circle the sun in orbits very similar to that of Earth. Usually sits at an average distance of about 93 million miles from the solar system's central star. Isn't that closer? Aren't we 98 million miles? How far are we?
Yeah, give or take. I don't know. I feel that for some reason the number 100 million's banging around in my head. Like, we're around 100 million miles. 98 million would count, or is it around 100 million?
Yeah. I'm trying to think. It's in a Diggable Planets lyric when, what does she say? I'm 98 million miles above these devils. It's a reference to the distance from the Earth to the Sun. So, yeah, it's coming back next Thanksgiving. Asteroid will make a slower approach, traveling at 1,498 miles per hour. Can we just say 1,500 miles per hour?
Right. Yeah.
Is anybody going to check you on that? Space.com.
You know what I would say?
I know you have nerds that...
When looking for the one, we all want something different. Some want reliability, others look for excitement. Some like stylish, others go for sporty, compact, or cargo space. You know we're talking about your perfect BMW certified vehicle, right? With 100% genuine BMW parts, the BMW certified warranty, and a nationwide dealer network, your ultimate match might just be the ultimate certified machine.
Take advantage of exceptional offers on all 2019 through 2022 models.
Hey, it's Ryan Seacrest. Life comes at you fast, which is why it's important to find some time to relax. A little you time. Enter Chumba Casino. With no download required, you can jump on anytime, anywhere for the chance to redeem some serious prizes. So treat yourself with Chumba Casino and play over 100 online casino-style games, all for free. Go to ChumbaCasino.com to collect your free welcome bonus. Sponsored by Chumba Casino. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
Listen,
I would say no.
I'm actually on.
But if the internet has taught us anything, yes, someone is going to fucking. Actually, no, it's been.
Yeah.
That asshole exists. He's out there.
It will only come within 3.3 million miles of Earth. So it's never. Yeah, because the Earth has long since cleared out its orbit. We're not going to run into anything that is currently orbiting the sun.
So,
but I guess
it's something that's coming into our orbit and
it's getting close enough that that's what I want to see. I want to see this thing like looping around the Earth a few times.
The
overlapping.
Overlapping, yes.
Yeah. Let's see. You're going to have to last until 2084 to see it come closer or within 2 million miles of our planet. Yeah. So 59 years we're projected to see it come back into our orbit again. But how long did it hang out for? It just says the last few months. We've been too wrapped up in our own bullshit to even notice.
Right.
It hardly ever visits. It's just hanging out there like, okay, I'm not going to be back here for 60 years, but okay, I know you guys have an election.
Well, the government was admitting there was aliens, and we were all distracted by, the flu. So, that's how it goes.
Yeah, it was just like, we're just here. It was actually aliens. They're like, we're just here to pick up Ellen DeGeneres. She said she just wants to leave the planet now because she left America and realized as much as she hates this country, the rest of the world is shittier.
Well, when I heard this story, I was like, do you not see the irony in running to England from America because you feel oppressed? Like, your history teachers did a terrible job.
You know, I don't know what specific form of oppression she might be feeling, but
also, did you learn nothing from the Beatles and the Stones in the 70s? They're gonna take
England has a
1 year England's tax rate. You're gonna be like, I'm sorry, I'm moving back.
I don't think her accountant's going with her.
Right.
I bet your accountant's staying in the U.S.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Yeah, I bet all of our income sources are still going to be United States based.
I mean, I wouldn't want to, I don't know that I'd want to be a celebrity anyway. I wouldn't like the money, but the pain of having to deal with that. Let's just say you had a choice between two jobs that paid you millions of dollars and one of them involved everyone knowing who you were. I'd pick the other job.
What's the old trope? People say,
I wouldn't just go for fame.
People say they want to be rich and famous, and they say, no, you just want to be rich.
Yeah. You don't need to be, when you're rich, you don't need to be recognized. People don't know who you are. You tip a $20 bill and they're like, I know who this guy is now.
Well,
He's okay.
Yeah, well, plenty of super rich guys can do things like bad example. Go to the supermarket, but no, they can go out in public. They can just go out to regular places.
Right.
And go on about their day. Whereas if you're rich and famous, you know, you're not running to 7-Eleven for anything real quick.
I don't know what is she going to do in England, right? She's going to do maybe the talk show circuit while she's over there.
At this point,
she's going to go on Graham
how about
Norton.
be retired? Isn't she in her?
Yeah, that's true.
Her early to mid 60s.
But I'm saying, like,
do what people your age do? Stop working.
I don't know that comedy, like, it doesn't really translate all that well.
Well, no, Ace Man's been mentioned, and people have been bringing up retirement to him because he turned 60 last year.
Yeah.
Like, no. He's like, why? I like doing what I do.
Right.
Why would I stop?
Right.
Like,
he likes both things. He likes talking, and he likes making money.
Yeah.
The more he talks, the more money he makes. Yeah. Like, why would you stop that?
Well, no, and then he gets, same conversation he always gets back, and he talks about the shit that he did when he was 19 or 20. He's like, this ain't work. He's like, shoveling garbage on a construction site, that was fucking work. Yeah, yes, I would be retiring from that if I was still doing that.
I'm sure this has to do with her being gay, right? She feels oppressed because, I don't know. She feels that, like, a Trump administration isn't going to support. What that actually means to Ellen's day-to-day life, like, zero, probably.
If he didn't round up gay people the first time, you think he's going to do it the second time?
But I'm assuming that because it can't be that she's going to be silenced. Right. I mean, first of all, the people who tried to silence you are the people who lost, right? The people that wanted you canceled as a bad boss are the people that were on the losing team this time. And the country that you're fleeing to has a shitty record on free speech. And it's probably worse now than it's been in a long time. They're actually cracking down on a lot of things. They used COVID as a way to clamp down on a lot of things that they didn't want to see. Clubs with loud music, people speaking their opinions openly about government and royalty and whatever. So, like, why would you want to go there? Like, why would you want to go visit? Yes. Why would you want to go live there or try and have a career as a comedian and entertainer there? I have no idea.
I saw an article.
They're fine to, like, England exports a lot of great comedians here. Mm-hmm. A lot of them translate very well because all they have to do is curse, and we're like, aren't they hilarious?
Right.
But
yeah, those guys get a pass on the word cunt.
But stand up does it, we're like, what's his name? What's the controversial guy that we were talking about last week with the long hair? Comedian.
Oh, actor. Russell Brand.
Yeah. Yes. We love Russell Brand because we love the way he talks and he says cunt and and he can say it. because he's English and he can just get away with it without actually offending anybody. But we do not need to see Russell Brand stand up, right? You're like, keep that. So your one man show, that's fine. Keep that over there with you. That's the English are into that. We don't give a shit. We want to see you guest star on a TV show and be really funny.
So I like Jim Jeffries stand up, but he's not even from there.
Yeah. Yes. And Jim Jeffries just knows he's just a good stand up.
Yeah.
He's Australian, right?
Yeah.
I couldn't remember if it was Australian or New
it was an
Zealand,
English
but
penal colony.
It
was England's jail.
Yeah. They're sneaky.
Ago.
They can go in between. They
right.
can they play both British and American roles. Well, if we can make it another 5 years, we just might get to see that moon come back again. That 2024 what was it called?
I thought the show's coming back next year.
PTSD. No, it's not going to be. It'll be close enough to like maybe observe with telescopes. It won't be orbiting again. We might get to see. It wasn't until what did I say? 2080 something that it'll come back close 15 to actually be in Earth's orbit again.
Well.
But in 5 years, we're going to be hitting the mark that futurist Ray Kurzweil has set for humans to achieve what he calls longevity escape velocity, which I think we've talked about this before. But basically, that medicine and science will progress fast enough to they will succeed at extending the human life enough that that progress will outpace one's aging. And so most people would just stop aging with the help of medical science. So basically, if you can make it in the next 5 years, you might have a chance of living forever.
Could you turn the clock back is my question.
Sure.
Can I roll back to like 23, 24?
Oh, here, this encapsulates it better than I can say. The concept basically states that due to medical and technological advances, we will soon reach a point where our life expectancies lengthen by more than 1 year per year, effectively giving us time back on the clock. Yeah. Well, I mean, this is a Popular Mechanics article, and the headline is, scientists say humans will go backwards in time within just 5 years. So
I saw that. I didn't click on it. I was like, no.
Well, the article is clickbait, yes, but what they're talking
Particle
about.
physics hasn't changed.
Yeah.
You can't travel through time. So I knew it wasn't click-worthy.
Now, I wouldn't say the article isn't completely clickbait. It's just the headline. It's an interesting article. But yeah, we're not talking about time travel.
So no flux capacitor?
No.
Which, by the way, side note, I have now seen several, as a Back to the Future fan, I have seen several Cybertrucks up close. Of different colors, not just the silver one. I've seen the black one. The black one looks better, but
I saw a red one.
But both of them.
The Cybertrucks, just in general?
Like I said, I'm
doesn't look like
I'm
much.
a Back to the Future fan, and I think that thing looks dumb.
I can't remember who it was. It was a comedian that it wasn't like part of a skit or something. It was just something he said to another comedian. He said it looks like a DeLorean abortion. Yeah. Certainly seeing it move doesn't do it. Like seeing it still, you're like, oh, that's neat. It looks like you see a lot of these concept cars and you're like, oh yeah, the car of the future. This is one where you when you see it in action moving around, you're like, wow, it looks clumsier than one would even think.
Right. Hey, that rich guy rolling around in his Cybertruck? That commercial.
What commercial? Oh yeah, the political commercial. Yeah. Yeah, Donald Trump isn't worried about. He's worried about that guy rolling around in a Cybertruck. Yeah, people are trying to get a feud going between Elon and Neil deGrasse and he was on Real Time, Bill Maher's show.
Well, I saw the interview.
You did? Yeah. Did you watch the? He was on Overtime as well.
I did not see the Overtime.
So in Overtime, their little like post-show kind of, they always pull the lead interview in with the panel to answer questions. So Neil was back on for that, and they were talking about, I can't remember how it started, but they were, Elon was definitely in the conversation because he's apparently going to be part of the Trump administration. And Bill and Neil were both talking about how ridiculous it is to even talk now about terraforming the earth because I believe the way Neil put it is, how bad would you have to mess up Earth in order to have to then even consider terraforming another planet? And if you had the technology to terraform another planet, why wouldn't you fix the one that you were on? Why not? That would be still less work. This he didn't use, but I just think of the analogy of how it's cheaper to keep an employee than to hire a new one.
True.
Right? It's cheaper to keep the planet that you have going than to just throw your hands up and scrap it. Sometimes it's necessary, but sometimes you nuke a relationship.
I thought of something in the last week, though, that the question I want to pose to, because they had that COP29 summit or whatever, a lot of stories about climate change in my feed the last week.
Okay. Yeah.
All this talk of the Earth's temperature going up and this and that. They know more people keep showing up, right?
Yeah, I think that's part of the problem, isn't it?
We're going to keep, in my lifetime, we've seen, I've heard the figures 5, 6, 7, and now we're up to 8 billion. It seems like every 10 years we get another billion people. We're going to keep consuming resources.
Right. Sure, but I'm not saying that. I'm sure they've all thought of that as being one of the leading problems, but that's not one that you can legitimately tackle. How do you stand up at a summit and say, well, first of all, we need to stop having so many people on the planet, right?
We need to factor for that, I guess, is more what I'm getting at.
Okay, Hitler, sit down, please. You're going to decide who gets to breed, which countries get to breed. First of all, there's too many Indians.
Well, and the other part of the conversation, if China and India don't give a fuck, then we're all fucked. They have all the people.
Right. But I don't think the answer is to just throw your hands up because, there's just always going to be more people.
Well, no, I don't feel like they factor that in. The population is going to keep more resources are going to be consumed.
I think they factor it in, and it's just the understood thing that they have to talk around because it's not something that you can control. People are just going to breed. You're not going to be able to control that. There's a story on Live Science with the headline, "Why Aren't We Crushed by the Weight of Earth's Atmosphere?" Which I thought sounded like a very stoner type of question. I don't understand it, first of all. It seems pretty obvious why we're not.
Yeah, weight.
Yeah.
For starters.
When looking for the one, we all want something different. Some want reliability, others look for excitement. Some like stylish, others go for sporty, compact, or cargo space. We're talking about your perfect BMW certified vehicle, right? With 100% genuine BMW parts, the BMW certified warranty, and a nationwide dealer network, your ultimate match might just be the ultimate certified machine.
Take advantage of exceptional offers on all 2019 through 2022 models.
Hey, it's Ryan Seacrest. Life comes at you fast, which is why it's important to find some time to relax. A little you time. Enter Chumba Casino. With no download required, you can jump on anytime, anywhere for the chance to redeem some serious prizes. So treat yourself with Chumba Casino and play over 100 online casino-style games, all for free. Go to ChumbaCasino.com to collect your free welcome bonus. Sponsored by Chumba Casino. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
Heat rises, cold sinks. Notice how the atmosphere isn't filled with water because it's way heavier than air.
But it sounds like, if you're just getting stoned with a buddy in a field, looking up at the sky, and you're like, how come all that air just doesn't come down and crush us? You ever think about that?
Hey, man.
Miles of air cover the earth, it says. You know that.
Or the fact that we're held on the planet by centrifugal force.
Air is lighter than our bodies, but all those miles of air in the atmosphere amount to a lot of weight. The total mass of the Earth's atmosphere is about 5.1 billion kilograms. That's 2 billions, isn't it?
And we're under
no
it.
Mistake.
There's also that.
I didn't know that we counted billion like that. Like a billion? So literally what billion? You take 1 billion and you're like a billion 1 billions.
Apparently it doesn't have a name.
No.
So that's 18 zeros.
Let's see. Or 11.24 billion pounds. Broccoli told Live Science. They're talking to Anthony Broccoli. Okay, so they weren't actually talking to sentient broccoli. When it comes to a cylindrical column of air that is 1 foot in diameter, its mass is 1,663 pounds. So think of that. Every time you're outside, right above your head, there's a ton and a half of air just waiting to come down on your head, directly above you. Comes down to distribution of pressure. Air flows around your body. Ultimately, the pressure from the air is exerted uniformly on all parts of a person's body.
Well, yeah, you notice how, like, when planes fly, they don't
just a downward force.
Like, planes don't, like, ascend and then, like, hit a wall and then fall, right? Like, yeah.
Right. The pressure the atmosphere exerts uniformly on our bodies is not trivial. It amounts to approximately 14.7 pounds. About the weight of a large bowling ball per square inch. So, I mean, what they're saying there is actually interesting, though. We think of
I think it's 14 pounds of resistance all the time.
Yeah, I mean, and we just think about that as part of gravity. Mm-hmm. But there's gravity. There's the actual gravity of the planet that keeps everything on the surface, and it affects the atmosphere too. And that atmosphere does have an effect. It's kind of interesting. Like if we were somehow able to, well, we're able to. There's a will, there's a way. We could strip this planet of its atmosphere. And when we do, it'll still have the same gravity, but I wonder what percentage, everything would be essentially a little bit lighter feeling. Wouldn't weigh less. Well, I guess maybe it would weigh less.
Be like the moon.
How would it? You would imagine it would affect you then, right? So like, that affects you even when you're standing on a scale. You would weigh in no atmosphere, but same gravity. You would weigh a little bit less than you would normally. I don't know. We are not crushed by air pressure because, quote, our bodies have evolved over time to withstand the pressures. That's according to Michael Wood, chair and professor of quantitative sciences at Canisius University in Buffalo, New York. I take exception to that description, actually. Evolution is all about finding the best solution for the environment. So there is no way for us to evolve into something that was unfit to exist in the atmospheric pressures of Earth. It just wouldn't happen. Any mutation that ended up in being unfit for the atmosphere
would go away.
It would be immediately weeded out of the genetic line. Right. So it's not that he says our bodies have evolved over time to withstand pressures. No, they didn't evolve to withstand pressures. They always could. Even from a single cell organism. The reason that single cell thrived is because it was good in the environment, under the atmospheric pressures. And actually, if you think about the fact that all life came from the sea, that's way more atmospheric pressure than out on land. So it wasn't even about having to adapt to it. Like a lot of the things that we had once to adapt to higher pressures of the sea, we've since lost because we didn't need them. So it's actually the opposite of what this scientist says, but what do I know? But TLDR, no, the sky is not going to fall and crush you one day. Don't worry about it.
Noted.
Yeah. Oh, so what we were talking about Elon and Neil, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's right. So they were basically talking about how ridiculous it is to think about going to Mars right now. But they weren't specifically going like, oh, Elon's stupid. He wants to go to Mars. But that's how everyone's trying to make it into like what Tyson has to say about SpaceX. Actually, he said good things about SpaceX and about what's the Amazon spaceship.
To poke holes in Neil's logic, if like explorers had that mindset, like right, we'd all be still crunched together up in New England, right? We wouldn't know Antarctica or Australia exists. We'd still think the world is fucking flat.
Yeah. Well,
like, oh no, here's fine.
Explorers who found America, right? People were like, what do you expect? You don't know that you're going to find anything worth good. It's going to be expensive. People are going to die.
Yeah, like I said, we'd all be clustered up in New England thinking, oh, we don't go past the Mississippi River.
But
we don't know what's over there.
Neil actually does get into that. I think they might have talked about that in the interview portion. But he says we don't base these things off of whether people are going to die or not. We're adults. We design cars that sometimes kill people. Does that mean that we stop innovating on automobiles? Mm-hmm. There are acceptable costs to progress.
Yeah, we don't know Oregon exists because Lewis and Clark just say, fuck it.
So he wasn't knocking that at all. And actually, like what I was going to get to before is that he was actually saying good things about SpaceX, because he said, isn't it incredible that we had an emergency with 2 astronauts, right? And what happened? They ended up getting stranded on a space station with friends, right? People they know. They had a place to stay. They had food, and we had options as to who was going to go get them, right? That's fantastic.
I mean,
he was actually he was praising the privatization of space travel.
I was going to say, can we also talk about how in 20 years a private company has lapsed a government agency that's existed for at least 3 times as long?
Yeah.
Just lapped them. Like NASA's like a footnote now to SpaceX.
Yeah, we were all looking to NASA to be like, deliver us the Jetsons, and they were supposed to make the cartoons come true, and all they did were like, well, it's kind of like more like a plane than a rocket now that we sent. It's got wings. It's like really sleek looking, but so we can land. We got that going for it. We basically incorporated some technology that was older than rockets into it. We put these wings that, go through the atmosphere very nicely and some wheels on it so it could land.
And Elon shows up and says, fuck it. We're sending Captain Kirk into space for real.
And Elon's like, how in Looney Tunes when the big catcher's mitt comes up and catches the rocket and just sets it down, that we're going to do that. That's what we're doing. We're going to catch the rocket in midair with a giant catcher's mitt. He wants to bring the Jetsons to life. That's great. He wants to putter around space in a little domed personal vehicle.
Hey, don't forget about Lando, buddy. Still waiting on that Hyperloop.
Scooty Puff Jr.
Let's get to work on that Hyperloop.
Yeah, that ended up being, he was biting off more than he could chew on that.
New York to Chicago, 10 minutes. Let's go.
Oh, hey, we didn't mention that R.I.P. Chuck Woolery.
Oh, yes.
He will not be back in 2 and 2.
No, he will not be back next time.
Yeah. You can sit through all the commercials you want. He's not coming back. The original host of Wheel of Fortune. What?
Oops.
How did I not know that he ever hosted Wheel of Fortune? I
didn't know that till he died. Apparently he left over a contract dispute.
When did it start?
Should have took a little less money, Chuck.
You want to talk about long-term gig, man. Yeah, you should have sat in there should have held out.
I remember the guy in the 80s, he hosted every other game show.
He hosted...
If you stayed home from school, you were going to see a good share of Chuck Woolery that day.
What was... so Love Connection was like the big one.
I remember he did Scrabble.
Yes, Scrabble.
I remember because they had the tiles.
I wanted to say Card Sharks, but I don't think that's true. They've got them... Yeah, okay. Also hosted Scrabble, Greed, and Lingo. Oh, yeah, Lingo. That was a more recent one. Lingo, like when the Game Show Network, I think that was a Game Show Network show. 1975, the year I was born. Wheel of Fortune, as old as I am. Merv Griffin hired him to host a new show called The Wheel of Fortune. Show initially aired during the daytime, and he hosted it until 1982. Wow, I was like paying attention to TV by that time. I was well aware of what was going on. I still had a black and white, but I knew.
Yeah, I was 3, so I think the TV was still just a box with colors and noises that entertained me. Sesame Street was probably...
And it couldn't agree on the contract. Replaced by Pat Sajak, he long regretted his decision to depart the game show.
Well, yeah, duh. Probably by year 15, you went, oops.
Yeah, I mean, like, he continued to work, but yeah, I'm sure every check that he got, he was like, well, that's pretty good, but it's not as much as what I would have made on Wheel of Fortune.
It's not that Sajak
that shit's
money.
In fucking syndication everywhere.
And now Ryan Seacrest hosts it.
Is he took over for Pat?
Yeah, Pat quietly had his last show a few months ago, I believe.
Yeah. If I wouldn't have left Wheel of Fortune, I'd be making about $10 million a year now, he told Times in 2003.
And then the reporter had to wrestle a pistol away from him.
Yeah. Yeah, and then in 83, so the following year of his Love Connection, how long did that show run for?
It
seemed like it was
through
on
the
for a
90s,
while.
wasn't it?
Love Connection ended in 94. And during that time, he had a short-lived talk show, the Chuck Woolery Show. I do not remember that. That was in 91.
Oh.
From 97 to 99, he hosted The Dating Game. He later hosted Greed and Lingo. Lingo, I remember being a fun game. I can't remember the rules of it.
I don't remember.
It was kind
either of those.
I remember it being kind of like a Wordle style. Like you had one word, and you had a clue, and they'd give you like one letter at a time, something like that.
It's like half-ass Wheel of Fortune.
It's like Wheel of Fortune speed round.
We'll give you the letters. You just guess.
I love watching people guess wrong on obvious answers on Wheel of Fortune. I think there's a famous one that goes around Instagram with a guy. I can't remember what the phrase was supposed to be, but he just so proudly proclaims, "Time to take a sausage break."
Oh yeah, I saw that the other day.
And then he goes, and then it finishes off with, "Nope." Like he immediately realizes that's not a thing. Or it might be a thing for me. I think that guy really likes sausage breaks. But in that moment, he saw the look on Pat Sajak's face and he was like, oh God, nobody else takes sausage breaks? It's not a thing?
Is people who annoy you. Okay.
As
always, we give you the letters R, T, S, L, and E. We just need 3 more
The naggers.
Okay, I'd like a B, an N.
If I recall, this was when even Comedy Central was like, dude, we're censoring this.
Okay, well, looks like you're going to get a lot of help here.
Yeah, they beeped him.
People who annoy you. Audience, keep quiet, please.
Black guy's looking at him.
10 seconds, Mr. Marsh.
Well, I know it, but I don't think I should say it.
5 seconds, Mr. Marsh.
All right, I'd like to solve the puzzle.
When looking for the one, we all want something different. Some want reliability, others look for excitement. Some like stylish, others go for sporty, compact, or cargo space. You know we're talking about your perfect BMW certified vehicle, right? With 100% genuine BMW parts, the BMW certified warranty, and a nationwide dealer network, your ultimate match might just be the ultimate certified machine.
Take advantage of exceptional offers on all 2019 through 2022 models.
Every day when you log into ChumbaCasino.com, the ultimate online social casino, you get a free daily bonus. Imagine if you got daily bonuses in other parts of your life.
I chose French fries over loaded French fries.
I asked Stuart from accounting about his weekend, even though I don't care.
I updated my operating system without having to call tech support.
Collect your free daily bonus at ChumbaCasino.com now. And live the Chumba life. VGW Group. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.
Oh shit! This is the internet.
Huh?
The way he proclaims it. They definitely beeped it, and you got it, but hearing him actually say it so proud that way.
Rest of the episode's outrageous. Jesse
We'll have to
Jackson
beep that
makes
for the
him kiss
podcast.
his ass.
What's that?
Jesse Jackson makes him kiss his ass.
Yes, that's right.
That's right. Apologize.
Let's change the subject. I saw that Gladiator 2. That was a pretty fun movie. Did you enjoy? Have you seen the first Gladiator movie with Russell Crowe?
No.
Not into it?
But I have an issue with the lead in Gladiator 2.
Why?
Not with Denzel. Because I know history.
Denzel was great.
No,
What?
Would a black guy have been an emperor in Rome at that point in history? No.
I don't think it's completely ridiculous to think that. Because not
in Rome.
Rome took slaves not based on race. Like, that was a more of a European and later American thing, that this idea that, like, that person is a different race than us, and so it's somehow okay to subjugate them.
The Moors just
Romans, they were just
went
like
north and just conquered, is my point too. They didn't hang out and rule. They just went north and marauded and fucked.
I don't know. I think he makes reference of where he came from, but I don't know.
I'm sure Denzel does a fine job. I was like, black guy in charge.
I think
in Rome.
No, especially at that time, Rome was very multicultural. I mean, you would have had rich and powerful Egyptians that would be doing business in the city. So I don't know. It didn't really stand out.
He looks like he hit the gym in the Ozempic.
He looks really good. He's
a lot smaller than the last time I saw Denzel.
Yeah. Well, I think he was kind of beefing up for those, like, equalizer roles, which he said he's going to do more of. They got 2 more movies planned. Mm-hmm. I'm like, bring it the fuck on. I know, like, people weren't totally into the third one. I thought it was great. I don't know what else you fucking want from a movie. It's a very simple premise. But yeah, Gladiator 2 was quite fun. I mean, even if you're just interested in the spectacle, I mean, the whole thing looks great. Ridley Scott certainly is just fantastic. The guy knows how to position a camera. And this was, it was a lot more digital effects than the original. The original movie was still in the era where, like, digital effects were prominent, but, like, I'm watching.
They were still effects?
They were still effects. I've been rewatching The Lord of the Rings.
The set.
And so I'm on the Two Towers, which is a very Gollum-heavy movie. And the Gollum animation looks great, but it just looks like it's painted directly over the set. Like, it just pops against everything. And they've since learned to, control the lighting in ways that makes it blend in much better. And so, they're able to do things that I don't think that they could have done practically.
Well, yeah, like today I was on a Microsoft team meeting, and it's been a while since I did one of those, and I learned you can mess with the stuff now. And you make the lighting softer, you blend in with the background way better.
Mm-hmm.
Actually looked like I was sitting in the mountains or fucking, I was fucking around with the,
Yeah.
when I was on the moon.
Yeah, so they do stuff like, there's a lot more animals in this because they can just animate it, and there's a rhino fight, and the rhino is just, I don't think that rhino's ever actually got that big, but it looks fantastic. It's got a gladiator riding it. There's a fight where they have the gladiators fight a bunch of baboons, and there's guys in the outskirts of the Colosseum shooting blow darts into the butts of the baboons to make them aggressive. Wow. They're like ripping guys' throats out and shit.
Damn.
Yeah, it's a pretty gruesome movie.
Sounds like must miss for me then.
Yeah.
Not a gore guy.
Yeah, it doesn't go totally. I mean, it's kind of gory, but it's not gory in a horror movie way where they really linger on the gore aspect of it. The Then the best though is the fight. They flood the Colosseum for this fight, and they put a bunch of gladiators on 2 ships, and they just have a little naval battle right there in the Colosseum.
Why not?
And they've got these fake islands with like these wooden palm trees that they've made, and in the water are sharks. And so they're like, shooting arrows at each other, lighting the sails on fire, doing the whole 9 yards, and like.
And the dogs, when they bark, shoot bees.
Yeah. Yeah, and guys are getting knocked off the boat into the water and getting eaten by sharks. It was definitely a spectacle.
If you're making shit up, go nuts, right?
Yeah, I don't know how much of it they made up. I imagine, who knows?
And strapped to the sharks are wolverines. And they're pissed because they're in the water. And they haven't eaten for 2 weeks. And on the head of each wolverine, a tiny flamethrower.
Yeah, I don't know how it's getting reviewed. I know some people are just kind of like, it's just a retread, the original, which, spoilers, the lead in the Gladiator movie, what's his name?
Guy who's not Denzel. Is that how he's billed?
Lucius. He is the son of Russell Crowe's character. So I guess when Russell Crowe dies in the first movie,
someone's pregnant.
Yeah, well, no, he was like 7 years old.
Oh.
He had a kid. He had a kid with the daughter of Marcus Aurelius. And so that line, basically, Marcus Aurelius was a leader who was in favor of the Senate. He was, and one
of the guys who stabbed Caesar.
I don't know. Could be. But, yeah, I think after his rule ended, they basically dissolved the Senate and just went back to, no, we're just going to have, ruled by divine right, by bloodline. And that's how you get, like, the syphilitic twins that rule in this movie. So anyway, that kid being of the bloodline of Marcus Aurelius might, be a challenger to the throne someday. So he was basically sent off for his own good, for fear that, the current emperor would execute the kid. And that kid ends up being accepted by some tribe in North Africa, and then eventually, armies from Rome show up and overtake that nation like they did many others and enslave the men. So the kid who grew up not knowing his actual heritage ends up going back to the city that he was born in and helps lead a revolution.
I feel this is in the fucking Bible with different names.
It's very much like, it's I wouldn't even say the Bible. This is how the stories of myth back in Roman times would go. The story of Oedipus being sent away from his homeland because his father, some witch or somebody told him that your kid's going to grow up to execute you someday. And he's like, all right, well, we'll just kick him out. And then sure enough, he comes back, not knowing that he's going back to his original birth city. He goes back and confronts his father and kills him. And the prophecy comes true. Let's wrap it up for today.
All right. Well, we're recording this pre-holiday, but I hope you enjoyed your big giant meal. One of my favorite Thanksgivings is getting high as shit right before dinner and then just going in and boom, let's go. Eating like 4 plates.
Gravy on everything.
Oh, yeah. Put gravy on the stuffing. Put gravy on the fucking...
You gotta get the stuffing, get some creamed corn. Maybe some sweet potatoes, but not a lot.
See, I am not... I am not. Apparently, my mom makes kick-ass sweet potatoes. I'll never know. I've tried them once. I was like, no, thank you.
I can't do large quantities. I'll have like a few, just like, 5 or 6 little coins or whatever.
I can only do cranberry sauce if it's real cranberry sauce.
The scallop potatoes, that's what I much prefer.
Oh, the cheesy potatoes. Hell yeah. I can't do that cranberry sauce the canned shit, I can't. It tastes...
Fuck cranberry sauce.
It tastes weird to me. I can only do the real shit.
Yeah, it seems like most people, that is cranberry sauce to them. It's like, that's what they want. It's like Jell-O, which I am also not a fan of.
It tastes odd. It's just got a weird texture.
It's got a sour tang to it that affects everything.
Real cranberry sauce is good. It's got actual, like, cranberries.
I like cranberries.
Yeah.
I like cranberry juice. Anyway.
Where are you at in the pie camp? You do pumpkin pie?
No, not really. I like the fruity pies, apple pies, no cheese.
Man, whoever invented cheese on apple pie, what's wrong with you?
Somebody, people keep trying to make that a thing.
Brie? Is it at least brie?
I don't even think it was even no, it's just an American, like, American cheese.
Oh!
Yeah. Like, literally, like, unwrap a Kraft single,
like,
individual, highly processed.
I can understand brie, like, because they do it with, like, pears and shit. But, like,
brie pears well.
Like a Kraft single? Are you kidding me?
No, that's how they did it.
Gross.
Maybe I'm sure it was cheddar. Maybe at one point.
Me either. Still, I love cheddar cheese. Gross on apple pie.
No, there's no place there.
No.
It's like, why would you fucking ruin it?
Yeah, let's just take a shit on it.
Yes, yeah, you may as well. So I'm not eating it now.
What's that one? You picked Thanksgiving to go.
The macaroni and cheese.
Yeah.
You don't fuck with the macaroni and cheese.
Yeah, just don't. And if you did, hopefully you learned this lesson. Don't. Thanksgiving's not a day for experiments, people.
Yeah.
You are going. You are crowd pleasing on Thanksgiving. You are serving. You got to go for the basic. You're going for the common denominator. Don't do crazy shit to things.
It should be traditional meals. We're not looking for fusion. We're not looking to mix it up.
I was in charge of green bean casserole, and I substituted. My ex-wife was like, "Let's do broccoli instead." Boy, did I hear about that shit. Yeah, no, you don't experiment.
This should be the one year where nobody has to have an argument about what we're having for dinner.
Yes. But anyways, hope you had a good Thanksgiving.
Yes.
At the Weedsman 420 on social media, ChristopherMedia.net. Hit the PayPal button. It helps us out. Another way to help us out is wherever you listen to the show, rate us and review us. Please, thank you. Helps other people find the show. And stay high.
Stay high.
Thank you for visiting ChristopherMedia.net.
When looking for the one, we all want something different. Some want reliability, others look for excitement. Some like stylish, others go for sporty, compact, or cargo space. You know we're talking about your perfect BMW certified vehicle, right? With 100% genuine BMW parts, the BMW certified warranty, and a nationwide dealer network, your ultimate match might just be the ultimate certified machine.
Take advantage of exceptional offers on all 2019 through 2022 models.
Hey, it is Ryan Seacrest. There's something so thrilling about playing Chumba Casino. Maybe it's the simple reminder that with a little luck, anything is possible. ChumbaCasino.com has hundreds of social casino-style games to choose from with new game releases each week. Play for free anytime, anywhere for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. Join me in the fun. Sign up now at ChumbaCasino.com. Sponsored by Chumba Casino. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus terms and conditions apply.